Well, looks like there's everybody sleep, or everybody over somewhere. There's one person that's probably me, enjoying myself. That's cool. Eventually people will start coming in on a regular basis. They need to know that I'm being consistent. I'm always going to be here. Well, that's the plan, ladies and gentlemen. Friday and Saturday nights at 10 o'clock. I will be here for you. Ain't that what they say on Friends? I'll be there for you. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't sing. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't sing. Why not, though? Why shouldn't I sing? Hell, there ain't like nobody in here listening anyway. So, where everybody at? I know y'all ain't sleep. I know y'all is on YouTube. I know y'all. I seen y'all. I seen folks. Yes. I know you on YouTube. I know you ain't sleep. I know you in other people's lives that ain't live no more. So come on in here. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about being a grieving parent or spouse. You see your significant other, or you find out that there's pictures of them at the worst possible place somebody could be. Just imagine being that person that has to see that. And then you ask yourself why. Why are you taking pictures like that? What are you trying to get? Who are you trying to impress? Is it about the money? Is it about the clout? Or is it just that you're a despicable human being? I mean, it's got to be, you know, an answer to the question is why? Why did you do it? And be honest. I did it because I was trying to get a buck. Hey, G fan, what's up, my brother? Thank you for coming through. I did it because I was trying to impress somebody. I'm looking for my 15 minutes of fame. I figured I could get some money for them. Just, or which they would probably never admit to being as a despicable human being. Is that where our society is now? Where, we do stuff like that? Make that dollar at all costs, not caring about the dignity of the individuals. Yeah, the dude was a celebrity, he was a world famous athlete. But I don't think that that's the pictures that people will need to see. And where's your sense of professionalism? You're there to do one job. You out there taking pictures, sharing the pictures. You got people going to the bar showing pictures. They at a function that's um, there was some kind of function dinner or something where they were celebrating the first responders, and they out there they're showing the pictures. I'm like, that's crazy. And not because it's just not because I like Kobe. I mean, that's just anybody, and it doesn't have to be a celebrity. Have some kind of respect for the family. Yeah, I mean, I get it. People do that. They're human beings, and but you're held to a higher standard if that's your job, is to be there. You're not there to be taking pictures. Now, yes, you have people that have to take pictures, and that's their job, to go out and take pictures of the scene, whether it's a crash or crime or whatever. You have individuals that are tasked to take pictures. That's their job. That's what they do. They take the pictures, and that's how they do their investigation. They're not there to take pictures to sell to the whatever magazine or whatever. Everything's on the internet now, but that's just, I don't know. At some point, you have to draw the line. You have to. You have to have some sense of dignity and respect. What if that's your family member? Somebody take pictures of them at that point, and then they say, "Well, hey, we're going to share it." And I was reading the article, and they're saying that maybe, perhaps, um, there are pictures that the pictures actually in the hands of somebody who's been threatening to release them. I mean, if that's true, that's even more despicable, because the only reason you would do that is because you're trying to blackmail somebody to get some money. I mean, how desperate have we become as people? But I'm not surprised in the least bit, because that's generally how people are. You have some people that's how they are. That's who they are, and they'll walk around like as if they are, you know, normal. Because to me, that's abnormal. That's just. But then to them, that's their norm. So who am I to say that maybe I'm the one that's abnormal? Because I think that way. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, and that's the even sadder part, G, is that we're not surprised. There used to be a time when things would happen and you'd be like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened." Now it's like, "Wow, okay, that's par for the course. That's how it is. That's part of where we are now." Some of the craziest things that you thought that people wouldn't do or say, or I was talking to my son earlier today. I was, or yesterday, or maybe earlier today. I don't know. I get so mixed up sometimes. But how people are looking for that 15 minutes of fame. That's it. They want that 15 minutes of fame. They don't care how they get it. They're looking for that viral video, the thing that's going to make them go viral. And guess what? It's a crapshoot. And like I was explaining to my son, most of the time things that go viral are usually they're not planned. They are just insignificant moments that somebody saw and filmed it, or recorded it and put it on social media, and everybody was enamored with it. Anything from a child saying something to, like, the guy that was interacting with the baby. They're having this whole conversation that went viral. That wasn't planned. That was just a father interacting with his child. Somebody recorded it, thought it was cute. Like, hey, let me put this on the internet, and boom, it blew up. He had his 15 minutes of fame. I think he got a trip or something out of it. Went on to a couple of talk shows. Now he has a moment to share with his son when he gets older. It's like, hey, this happened. But to try to sit and plan a viral moment, it don't always work out the way you want it to. You know, sometimes they end up with a mugshot. Now you're sitting there looking real crazy, trying to figure out what happened. Where did I go wrong? Well, probably went wrong in the planning of the video. But that's how it goes. That's how it is. That's how people are. And as bad as you don't want to accept it, it just is. Like I always say, it's people are looking for all these kumbaya moments and people to be rational and people to be, you know, it's always going to be two sides. Always. Always. From now until the end of time, there's always going to be two sides. It's going to be the side that says yes and the side that says no. The side that understands that, you know, it, it, this is who I am and I respect who you are. And then there's those that's like, man, my way is the only way. Yeah. That's not how it is, because if we all did the same thing, acted the same way, talked the same way, can you imagine living in a world where everybody just does the same thing? There's no nothing. Everybody just walks the same way, wears the same clothes, looks alike. No, that would. It has its good and it's bad and it's ups and downs and that's just life and that's how it's always going to be. You just pick a side and whatever side you choose, that's where you are. And you have to learn how to respect others' decisions and thoughts and beliefs and whatever. What makes you so much better than the other person because they don't see things the way you do. Who said that your way you see it or the way you feel about it is right? How do you determine that? How is it determined that what you say is the best course of action for somebody else? Why is it that what you believe is so much better than what they believe? So much so that you're willing to kill them because they won't agree with you. Hell is you. You ain't no different than anybody else. And people are talking about, well, the athletes and the movie stars and famous people, they do some, well, they're gonna do dumb stuff. They're human. Being rich doesn't make you a genius. Like I said, if you were an a-hole all your life and you all of a sudden got rich, you're just gonna be a rich a-hole. It ain't gonna make you. Don't change your personality. Change your tax bracket. It gives you more accessibility to certain things, but that even just allows you to be more of an a-hole. Now everybody can see it because it's going to be on full display. Because you figure, hey, I'm rich and I'm famous. I can do what I want to do. To some degree, that may be right, but you're still an a-hole. Don't much matter, So it is what it is, people. But getting back to this situation with Kobe's wife, Gianna's mama, man, it's crazy. I mean, you wake up and you know that these pictures are out there, and some of the other families have settled, you know, with the county. She's actually filed a suit against the Los Angeles County and other government officials or offices or entities, and a lot of the other people have settled, but she is just not going to settle. She's going to fight it to the bitter end, which is probably what her husband would do or would have done. Fight it to the bitter end with what they call the Mamba mentality. Shit, it wasn't just him. I truly believe if you lived in the house with him, you had to have it. That was one of the. I can almost guarantee you that's one of the things that was a must in that house. You had to have that mentality. You know, being willing to push through whatever to win at all costs. Within reason. I'm quite sure that he didn't break any rules to win, but you know he put himself in position to have certain advantages, and he was given a lot of talent. He just honed the talent. He figured out what he could and could not do, and how to mask what his weakness. Build on his strengths, so you couldn't see the weaknesses or exploit them. But I listen to him now, and I'm like, wow, this dude was like intense. From listening to the Michael Myers, Halloween theme before games, to watching film and breaking down. I mean, I've listened to him break down players to the shoot, probably to how they after they went to the bathroom. I mean, the dude was relentless and a gym rat and a student of the game. I mean, he actually lived and breathed and basketball. That was his thing. While he was playing, that was just his thing. And after he retired, if you listen to him, it was like unbelievable. And I was talking to my son, and I was like, he couldn't be a coach, not in the NBA. Like we were saying, like my son said, maybe girls basketball, teaching people fundamentals and stuff like that. But I don't think that he could have been a professional coach. Probably for the same reason that Magic said it was hard for him to be a coach, because when you are a certain type of player and you played a certain way, and you have, I guess, respect for the game. Magic was like, it was different. In the locker room when he was playing, it was about basketball, and you know, once you left out of the locker room or the facility, yeah, it was different. Everything was different. He was like, man, when he was coaching, they would come in there, and the agents are in there, the groupies may be in there, or the family, or people that generally don't have anything to do with that player playing basketball, is other stuff. I remember watching a movie. Oh, I can't. Eddie, with Whoopi Goldberg. How they would come in the locker room, and you got the agents in there, you got the yes folks in there, and the groupies, and the dope man, and whatever. They just in there. Like, how can they don't, for the focus isn't the same. It became more about the money. You go into the to professional athletics, and as soon as you walk through the door, you sign that first contract, you're an instant millionaire. And I guess you have people that, that they they would walk around with a quarter in their pocket, if that, and now you give them access to millions of dollars. And if you don't teach them how to manage that money, they'll do the same thing they was doing before they got the money. They get a few dollars, and first thing they do is head to the mall, and or buying stuff that has there's no return on the investment, and they don't know how to spend the money or invest the money, and you have to. I would imagine. Well, yeah. I mean, you would have to surround you. It's the same thing with anything else that you're doing that you want to be successful at. That you have to surround yourself with people that can help you succeed and be successful, and have your best interest. And the sad part is, it's usually a stranger that will be the one to, you know, help you navigate, because sometimes, friends and family, they want what, they can get, and they figure, well, I was here for you when you was doing this, and you almost like you owe them. You have an obligation to them. And a lot of times, folks feel obligated because it's like, I don't ever want you to feel like I forgot about you, or that I'm better than you, or this, that, and the other. Well, it's not that you're better than them, but you have been afforded something that and a lot of times you work for this. The hours that it takes to hone your skills, whether it's athletics, or whether it's being a doctor, or whether it's being an attorney, or whether it's whatever. I mean, whatever. There's a certain amount of work that you have to put in order to be good at what you're doing. And that's work that you put in. Now, yeah, there was always, somebody there. If you're shooting basketballs, you would generally want somebody to grab the rebound and throw you the ball. Or if you're trying to be a quarterback, you do need receivers to run the routes. Or if you're a receiver, you need a quarterback to throw you the ball. So yeah, there are people that helped you out, but and it's not like you forgot them, but as you grow and as you progress, you're gonna have to leave people behind. And it's not personal. It's just how it goes. But getting back to Brother Kobe and Vanessa, and I feel for her, you know, to have to live every day, and you wake up, every day wondering, is this the day that somebody's going to release these pictures? And not only would she have to see them, what about the girls? You know, the older girl may be able to deal with it, but the older ones, but you have to think it was a baby. You got this baby that grows up, and they see these pictures of their dad and their sister just burned beyond recognition, or whatever it was. That would be something to see. And for the people that are in possession of those things, I mean, how I mean, what is why that would be my question. Why did you take the pictures? Your job was to go up there and try to save people, and you get there and you can't save them. Okay, you couldn't save their lives, but how about this? How about you try to save their dignity? You know, the last picture of them people want to see was them the smile and the hug and the jubilation and all of that stuff. I mean, do you really want the last picture of somebody to be like that? Once again, that says a lot about the person, the people that took the picture, because it was more than one. And they're saying that they're trying to catch it so that it doesn't get in the hands of, well, once the picture was shared with somebody else, you shared it with someone, so strangers don't get it. Well, they're strangers to them. They'd be strangers to me. So yeah, they are strangers to me. So they have the pictures and they're sharing them with their friends. But so you're I mean, is there no shame? I mean, have we gotten this far out of whack that you don't care about people, and you care that so much about yourself. I'm enjoying this be hype. Thank you. There's so much people say behind this sad tragedy with Kobe. They say it was planned for the plane to go down. I guess something about he knew about some president. Bruh, I've heard all kinds of conspiracy theories or whatever. I mean, whatever, whatever. But the pictures to that's got to be worrisome for the family. Like I said, she don't know if the day, when she wakes up, is this the day that somebody decides to cash in? You know, why? Why? That's the question, and I'll probably never have that answer as to why somebody would do that. I mean, what exactly are you trying to get? Are you trying to impress some chick? Look, girl, look what I got. Oh yeah, that'll make them pull the panties off. Yeah. Oh yeah, she'll want to marry you then, bruh. I mean, really, really. And I guess, how do you punish them? Because I don't know that they committed a crime. I mean, I think it's a lack of moral judgment. I mean, it really is to take those pictures and then share them with whoever, whether it's your friends or whether it's just, I mean, what do you, a magazine, you know, I don't know. And even if it would, thank you for sharing me out, Sir Jacob. I appreciate it. And even if you were taking the pictures for your own personal, you know, photography book or whatever, picture book or whatever. I mean, why? W- I mean, why? Well, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna take this picture and I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna walk around with it in my phone forever. I'll never show it to anybody, but every now and then I'm gonna go look at it. Whew, that's creepy, man. You're walking around with this dude with these people's pictures in your phone, and they're dead. It would have to be a really gruesome scene. Listening, to the reports of how it transpired, and I mean, it would have to be a really gruesome scene. And you've got these people out there taking pictures of them for their own personal gain. Like I said, you have people that's their job. They're tasked to go out there and take pictures of the scene so that they can do the investigation. Those are the only people that should have been taking pictures. I mean, you got people using their personal cell phones to take pictures. And they have these pictures in their phone. Why? What? I would really like to sit down and ask them why. What was the purpose of that? And then you're out gallivanting in the streets, you're going to parties or you're going out and you're sharing the pictures. You go to the family gathering. Hey, look what I got. Oh, yeah, that's really going to build your clout. But of course, there's some people like, oh, you have that? Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's the thing to have. Hey, can you send me a copy? I need to keep it in my phone too. Seriously, man. People say, yeah, we got to do better. Yeah, well, people do need to do better. But like I said, it's the world that we live in. There's always going to be a left and a right, a north and a south, a right and a wrong. It just is. There will never be a moment where every single person gets along with every other person, because that's not the way it's designed to be. Because if it had been designed that way, that's how it would be. We would all be walking around looking the same, acting the same, saying the same things. Everybody would get along because there would be no contrarians. Every day you get up and you walk 5 steps to the bathroom. Every day, everybody will walk 5 steps to the bathroom. Every house would be the same. Every car would be the same. Everybody worked the same job. All of that. That's how it would be. And so, since it's not that way and it will never be that way, it can't be that way, we have to understand that you got people that, and like I said, maybe it's me that's abnormal. Maybe I'm the one that's not normal. Maybe it's okay in their world to do stuff like that, to be so blatantly disrespectful and uncaring. And you have people that way. They just don't care about other people's feelings. It's all about me and what I need and what I want. I would like to hear the thought process. Did they plan on taking the pictures when they were on their way there? Or did they just get there and say, oh, snap, I'm going to take this picture and I'm going to keep it in my phone forever. And I'm going to show this to my kids. I'm going to show this to my grandkids. And I'm going to save the picture so that they can show it to their kids and their grandkids. And we'll just keep this as a generational thing. This will be a family heirloom. Pictures of dead people on a mountain that died in a crash. But do you know who this guy is? He's the great Kobe Bryant and his daughter and all these other people. Yeah, that's gonna be, yeah. That's gonna fetch us a whole bunch of coins later on in life. But what they have to remember is karma is a mother. And what you do and what you put out, the energy that you put out is what you get back. I mean, it is. It just that for sure is how the world works, and I believe that with every fiber of my being. So at some point, something's going to happen in their life, and they'll be sitting there trying to figure out why did this happen. Well, bro, look at your phone, and that'll tell you why it happened because you were so busy trying to do whatever it was you was trying to do, taking these pictures. That wasn't your job. Your job was to go up there and look for survivors, and maybe you had some people that they were responsible for clearing the scene, or making room for, or prepping the area so that whatever. But I can guarantee you, if you were using your personal cell phone, your job was not to be the crime scene or the accident scene investigator. I can guarantee you that because they have equipment. Uh, nah, that's different, Jacob. That's different. As long as you're not passing them out, like, that's cool. That's one thing. But and if they were willing participants when you took the pictures, yeah, I mean that's cool. It's a little odd, but it's cool. You know, but to take pictures of dead people for entertainment purposes, or you know financial gain at the expense of somebody who's in a bad spot. I mean that I hope that she gets everything that that she can get, and like I said, how do you punish these people? I would imagine that there's some kind of um, there would be something that happened at their jobs, where they'll say, some kind of suspension or something, because they weren't doing their job and that wasn't part of their job. That's the only thing that I can think of. I don't see them doing any jail time or going to trial or anything like that. I could think of a reason why they might add those pics because they want to see if there's a conspiracy. Yeah, okay, but they're not hiding the pics. They're sharing them, Jacob. They were sharing they took the pictures and were sharing them with their friends. Hey, look, this is this. I was at the scene of the accident. I can almost assure you that's what that was about. I was there. I'm gonna be famous. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be real famous. Took those pictures, and it's to me it's beyond creepy. It's I mean you I just see them as being despicable people. I just that's just how I see them. I mean, yeah, I mean it's one thing to say, okay, man, look at this. This doesn't look right. No, they ain't. From what I read, that ain't what they saying. It's like, look at this. I was there. Like, like what? Like when they landed on Plymouth Rock. Yeah, I was there. Or at some kind of Super Bowl parade, or and I was reading the article and they were talking about you know, how many of those guys that took those pictures went to Laker games and sat and watched and cheered for Kobe, Or how many of them when they won the championships were along the parade route, or even had to participate in the parade, or had to provide traffic control because of the parade, and they go past them and they like, and Kobe's waving and they waved at him. Or how many of them there were working at the stadium, or the college, the venue, and Kobe was there, and he come through, doing Kobe things, and he'd speak and stop and talk and sign autographs. How many? Really? I mean, you hold on to stuff like that, autographs and pictures that you take of but that's your claim to fame. That's the legacy that you're going to leave behind for your kids and your grandkids and your great grandkids. Look what granddaddy Bob got. He got a picture of the great Kobe Bryant after his accident, him and his daughter and all these other people sprawled out in the mountain. Yeah, that's what we got to look forward to. Well, as they say, such is life, man. But I can't. I have no sympathy for them. I don't. I'm not, and I'm not a. I mean, I try to look for the good in everybody. Like I said, I'm not so naive that I don't understand that there, stuff is going on, and not everybody has good intentions. But man, that's crazy. I think those picks could definitely make them big money. Yeah, but here's the deal, G. How much money, you know, how much? When Saddam Hussein was hung 2006, everybody there recorded it. Even though they were poor cameras, it's still one of the most searched and watched videos. Yeah. I know, Jacob. Know how I know? Because one of them searches, one of them watches is mine. But so I guess that makes me one of them. I don't know, but I just thought there was, and maybe I try to justify it by saying that Saddam Hussein was a bad guy and was just part of the punishment. It's like when they used to have the they have people on the firing squad, or when they do the executions, you have people there. Now they're not supposed to record it, and yeah, curiosity definitely killed the cat. But I mean, I guess this one just rubs me the wrong way. But like I said, it's the society that we live in now. It's what can I do to get that 15 minutes of fame? And sometimes it's not even 15 minutes. It's like a fleeting moment, and next thing you know, you're back where you were, and your life is what your life is. If you live in a crappy life and you think that you plan this thing out, and it gets some moderate traction, and you're thinking, okay, this is my ticket out. I'm going to be famous. I got pictures. This is my opportunity. I don't have to be a firefighter. I don't have to do this anymore. Then you realize that there's maybe no market for that, because that's just crude, and it's probably such a horrifying scene that nobody really, even the people that were probably tasked to investigate the crime, the crime scene, the accident scene, it probably took its toll on them. And I say that because there were children involved. And anytime you have children involved in something like that, it makes it even more horrific. Yeah. And like I said, with the kids, it makes it even more horrific. So now that makes you even more despicable in my eyes. Now that I think about that too, that you got these kids. What I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it says a lot about those individuals as people, and how they really see or how they value other people, because that's just something that's you do solely for your benefit. Because I am quite sure that when they were on their way there, nobody was calling them and say, "Hey, make sure you take pictures." It wasn't going on vacation to the beach. They're not going to the wedding, or they're not going to grandma's 100th birthday party. They're not going to some sort of celebration. That's a good question, Jacob. But as you see, that even happens. It can happen to the most seasoned veteran. I would imagine they say he got confused. And I've read where that happens. Pilot or the conductor of the train, they get confused. The guy driving the car. In those conditions, you read your instruments the wrong way sometimes. Yeah, you're trained not to, but they're human beings, and you know it happened. That happened, and so, but I just don't. That part, I get that part. Sometimes accidents happen. You don't. I'm not trying to you know play it off or anything, and it was serious. But accidents happen. You know, and my friend blew his brains out in my room. The first responders took pictures because it could have been a potential crime scene. Yeah, I mean, but to me, that's different. I don't know. Maybe it's just, yeah, because I get that part because they're the first ones there, and they know that the scene will get trampled. It's going to be crazy once everybody starts moving around and shifting stuff, because you got to move this and move that and this and that, and yeah, I understand that, but they they didn't take those pictures and then try to pass them off and share them with their friends and family. That's a whole lot different. Yeah, if you're the first one there and they need pictures, yeah, I get that part. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy, Jacob. Yeah, well, see, she couldn't accept that her son was drinking and not being responsible with a firearm. Yeah, well, see, it's easy to point the finger, and because as a parent, you always want to think the best of your kids, and that something my mother always said, that I can't say what my kids do or don't do, or have done or haven't done when they're not with me. The best thing she could do was the best thing as a parent is to teach their kids and lay a foundation. It is what it is. Now you know a little bit about my PTSD. Well, thank you for sharing, bruh. We hope that we would hope our hope is that our kids will go out and be productive citizens, but that doesn't always happen. Everyone in the house had a polygraph and gunpowder residue test on our hands. Yeah, but in her mind, her baby wouldn't do that. He just wouldn't do that. As parents, that is usually the first reaction. Not my child, knowing full well, once the dust settles and all the emotions, have gotten back to where they were, they know that that's how their child is. Same one that's running around the house cussing the parents out and doing this and doing that. They know. But one thing I guess we've always been taught, or I know that I've always heard, is that you don't speak ill of the dead. I don't understand that one either. Because if well, never mind. But mm-mm. I've never understood you. I mean, I don't. I mean, like you'll go to. I've been to funerals where I know for a fact that the person was a complete and utter jerk, but they talked about them as if they were the best thing since sliced bread, like they did no wrong. I don't know. I guess it's a bad thing to speak ill of the dead at the funeral, because I can guarantee you at the repast, you know, everything was on the table. But that's it's the world we live in. Like for me, my hope is that my kids are productive citizens. Totally. When somebody dies, it's like people change completely, acting like they're a saint. Yeah, I don't understand why, but that's how it is. That's exactly how it is. They talk about them as if they had done no wrong. But we all have faults. Some, I'm trying to imagine. I ain't taking no life sentence because your ass was neglecting your son. Hey, dig it, bruh. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But as like I said, as a parent, and then on top of that, what parent wants to be the one that was responsible for or take responsibility for that? First thing they say, I did the best I could. In some cases, the best they could was what they because not everybody knows how to. Everybody's not supposed to be a parent. Just because you have kids doesn't. Some people just aren't equipped, and then there's some that you teach your children what you know. That's how. I mean because there's no manual. You got all these people that tell you how to raise your kids and what you should do and how you should do this, how you should feed them, and all this stuff. They don't come with manuals. This is very therapeutic. I haven't talked about this in about 2 years. It happened in 2013. Uh, Glad to be able to be, available for you to do this, Jacob. You know, a lot of times, you teach your kids the lessons that you learn, and hope that. I was talking to somebody Tuesday on my show, and we talked about how each generation we should get better. Like the generation that my kids should be better than me, and their kids should be better than them, and that we teach them, you know, the things that we learned, and we try to learn other things to teach them, so to make sure that we at least build a foundation, something for them to build off of. Now, what they do once they're out there is nothing we can do about it. Absolutely nothing. You know, once they're grown and they're out there and they're doing their thing. You just hope that, they take the things that you tried to teach them and build off of that. Yeah, they're gonna make mistakes. Hell, I know I made quite a few. They're gonna do dumb stuff. Yeah, I know. I've done dumb stuff. It's good when you get people that love you for real as a friend. Yeah, that really helps too. And that's at any point in your life. You know. Oh, it's my pleasure, Jacob. It is my absolute pleasure. And I really appreciate you too, because you're always, I don't care. I mean, every video that Auntie and I drop, or every live, even if you don't come in, you share it. Bruh, that's appreciated. G fam, he'll comment on every video. He'll come in live. G be all over the place. He'll be in, some of the most obscure places, and you'll be like, "Hey, wait a minute." First of all, you try to figure out how he knew about this, and he's probably saying, "Well, hey, how did they know about it?" Yeah, but but I really appreciate you, man, for real. I appreciate both of y'all. And I understand that this is a process that like the most people I had in here tonight was like four, and that's cool. I know that eventually more people will come as I become more consistent. Yeah, he is. Definitely is. He definitely is. And I appreciate y'all more than I can say. Really. So but it's about time for me shut this thing down. I tried to keep it at an hour, but I will be back tomorrow night. I don't know what my topic will be. I have a general idea because I did see something earlier before I came on. I was going to talk about that, but this Kobe thing, when I read that, it did something to me. All right, and the same to you, G. Yeah, that this Kobe thing and them pictures, they just, that was just crazy. But I will see you guys tomorrow night. If you're not busy, stop through tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. More late night with Unc. I'll be here every Friday and Saturday at 10. Um, Tuesday is one on one with Unc. My guest will be Miss Tony Dupree. She is a etiquette expert, an author, and as she says, etiquette is more than just picking the right fork and all that stuff. So it it's going to be an interesting conversation. I've been doing some research, and she's pretty deep. So, and also make sure you check out my radio show Sunday through Thursdays from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That also is late night with Unc. I like to call that the sexiest nighttime show on radio. You can find me at matter of fact, let me drop the link. I'll just do that. All right, bro. I appreciate y'all again. Here's the link for the radios, and that's Sunday through Thursday. If you can't get it here, it's in my About Me section, Sunday through Thursday. If you like R&B slow jams, that's where you'll find them. I mean, old school. But I'll see you guys again tomorrow night. Again, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. And until tomorrow, remember, be happy on purpose and know that I believe in you, believe in you too. Good night, y'all.